Hello and welcome to Happiness Now. Today I'm delighted to interview Gasper Dolinar from the YouTube channel AttractPassion. Gasper is an artist, a visionary, and speaks a lot about meditation, about love, about the development of happiness. So I was delighted when he agreed to appear on my channel. Today we speak about the law of attraction, overcoming fear, developing love, and many other things. So please welcome with me Gasper Dolinar. Welcome to the show, Casper. Thank you for coming on today. I'm really excited to have you on. I've been following your YouTube channel for quite a while now, so I was really happy when you agreed to come on the show. So thank you and welcome.
Hello, Rab. I'm really happy to be here with you today, and thank you for inviting me for this conversation.
It's wonderful. There's so many channels now, isn't there? People are becoming more spiritual, and I just love your channel because you speak about so many different things. The power breath meditation, actually, that I've just started trying myself after you guiding us through it, has been amazing. So maybe you could tell people about that first.
Yes, firstly, thank you about it. It's really a lot of these informations are coming around right now at this time, and I thought that I was going on through different teachings from different people that are teaching about meditation and many different ways of how we can get into this present zone, present moment. And when I found out about Wim Hof, who is teaching about this power breath, and then Dr. Joe Dispenza is talking about it as well, and I noticed that also from Kundalini, this power breathing it is known for a long time, and I decided to try it and to find my own best experience from it, and I wanted to share it because I don't know if I have ever found a meditation that could work so good for me than this power breath. So that's why I wanted to share also with the people that watching my videos to try and explore themselves, because I think it's really powerful way to awaken our energy in our body, to awaken our brain, and just to reach this bigger potential that we are holding inside our body, and we can use it then for creating whatever we are working on. It's this life force, life energy, which is creative energy. So if we can learn to embrace this energy, to awaken this energy, then we can become creative in many different ways. And it's how we can use manifestation. It's how we can use this, how we call law of attraction. It's actually using this energy for creating material world or co-creating the material world. And that's why this is so powerful.
So what's this Kundalini for anyone that doesn't know, Casper?
Kundalini awakening is actually called, like from Asian, Kundalini is called as some sort of awakening of the energy inside our body. We could call it now the spiritual awakening. So that's why Kundalini was for remind us that we can awaken this energy in our body. But there was many different practices, and each different practice has each different name, and Kundalini is just one of them, just one of those names that we are holding now in our minds that reminds us on these spiritual teachings or spiritual meditation or whatever we want to call it. So it's just one part of awakening or of reminding us of this power that we are holding inside us. That's my point of view of what I see behind the word Kundalini.
Okay, so by controlling this energy, then we're able to manifest in this reality, because you mentioned a lot of attraction.
Yes, actually, we become more aware of it. It's hard actually to control it because it's still some intelligent in the background. I mean, some flow. I'm calling it the flow of life because I think it's always flowing, and all we need to do is just to connect to that flow of life, and like we say, go with the flow.
Yeah.
And this energy we can using for manifesting when we become aware of that energy, when we become aware of what is going on inside our body. So that means that we become aware of how we feel, what we are thinking about, and how those thoughts that we are thinking about affecting on us, how we feel, and what kind of emotions are going through our body. And when we become aware of all those different things which are going on inside us, then we can use this energy to create, to manifest, to use this law of attraction to work for our greater good.
So it's like creating a positivity in the mind, a positive energy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, positive mind will create also positive feelings and emotions, and those are those higher vibrations. Those are stronger energy vibrations, which will also bring us positive results. So if everything starts in our mind, this energy needs to go somewhere, and the outcome of that energy will be our manifestation.
That's really interesting. I actually try and control my mind as much as possible. I've meditated for many years, but I don't watch television. I don't have a television. So I watched a film the other evening with somebody, and I had a nightmare that night because I just wasn't used to watching violent things. And when I got up in the morning, I made a decision I will not be watching any more violent films. So I think it's really important to protect the mind. So that's fascinating what you're saying. It's when we've got our mind in a positive state, we're much more able to manifest positivity in our life. It attracts
Exactly.
positivity. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's not so much about controlling our mind, it's more about being aware of our mind. Because if we want to control our mind, we can all the time just be focusing on our thoughts and like thinking about that we need to control our thoughts. But it's almost impossible because there's so many thoughts running all the time. But when we become aware of our thoughts, then we become also aware of from where those thoughts are coming from. And like you say, if we are watching TV, then we know that TV is affecting on our thoughts. So if we will quit watching TV, then also our thoughts will become different because we will not have this source of negative thoughts anymore. And it's all actually about awareness. So more importantly is to become aware which things are affecting on us negatively and which things are affecting on us positively. And then we just quit with those things that are affecting on us negatively and do more things which are doing positive work for us.
Yeah. It's as simple as that, really, isn't it?
Yes.
People suffering from depression, they need to develop the ability to become aware of what's happening in the mind. A good practice, you talk about this as well, don't you, Gasper, is living in the moment.
Yes, exactly. Usually we are depressed because we have so much distractions around us, and that's why we are depressed, because we are giving our energy to all different things. And when we get the lack of energy, which is the outcome of everything, because we are giving so much energy to everything that we are focusing on, and that's what distraction is, to start one thing and another thing and another thing. So sending all our energy to those different things, that's why we are experiencing the lack of energy then, because we don't have all the energy to give it to everything. And when we have this lack of energy and we still need to do all our things, we still need to go to the job, we still need to cook, we still need to eat, and all those different things, that's where depression is coming on then, because the lack of energy can't deal with all those different situations. And because we still need to deal with them, we become depressed because we don't know how to deal with them. We don't know what to do next, and we don't see the bigger or better picture out of it. But it's all because we got distracted. So we need to remove all those different distractions from our life to get our energy back. And that's when we actually start living the life, and that's where we become more present.
So where did this journey start for you then? Because you're obviously quite spiritual.
It's actually started about, I think, 5 or 6 years ago. I started digging more into meditation because I thought that with meditation, I can remove my fear. I still am in extreme sports called dirt jumping with mountain bikes. And I started with this sport 10 years ago. And like every sport is about progressing. But when you come at certain level, when things become dangerous, there is almost not possible to avoid fear. So I started searching if there is any way that we can avoid this process in our mind, which is stopping us thinking about negative things. And I came across meditation. It was like meditation can overcome fear, or you can overcome fear through meditation. But then after years, I found out that it's not actually about fear, and it's not actually about overcoming it to become better in the sport. It's actually to become a better person, to research myself through meditation. And when I started more consciously researching my inner self, I found out that there's so many things I can express. There's so many things I want to express, to give this message also to people. Because we don't know how many things is inside of us until we are researching it and until we start to expressing it. So that's why I started expressing myself. And at some point I just started seeing some pictures that I wanted to draw, and that was the reason that I started drawing again. I was drawing as a kid constantly, and then I stopped because of the sport. And at that point, when I started seeing different pictures, which I thought that means something important, I started drawing them. And later I started painting, and that was leading me to where I am now, to all those paintings and those videos that I'm doing now. It's all the outcome of that I started meditating and researching my inner life, or something like that.
Your art is amazing, I must say. You know, it's quite magical. You can see
Thank
it's
you.
coming from a very positive, inspired mind.
Yes, it's go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. So I was thinking, is this because you've meditated? Then you've become peaceful, calm, and through this flow state, you're manifesting. Because one of your lovely sayings, I like one of your quotes: "I draw my passion."
Yes, I I named it after, I thought I don't want to paint just by my name, but I want to paint by I draw my passion, because this name has many different meanings, because people can describe it as that I'm drawing my passion, but actually everyone can draw passion by doing something that love, because that's what passion is. And so I started sharing this passion through my art, and this passion is actually life. So I'm drawing my life, and life is my passion right now. I mean, the point of view on life that I have right now is I have such a passion to just see the life that way. So that's why I want to share it in that kind of form. So it's, yes, this name was, it was just born in a second, I think.
So do you have a plan, or does it just spontaneously arise? Did you have an idea what you're going to paint this day, or?
At the beginning, I didn't have no plan. So I just started painting. At the beginning, you need to learn to paint. It's quite complicated at the beginning because you don't know which colors to buy, which canvas to use, and all those different things. So I started everything by my own because at that time I didn't have no money to buy any expensive equipment or to hire someone to teach me. So I started by my own, and but later when the paintings become more, when they became better, I started like, I made one painting, and before I finished it, I just got a vision for the next painting, which will be kind of related to that one, but it will be deeper. And before I finished that painting, I got another vision to, to go to the next one. And each painting was like a deeper level of the painting before. So right now I have like many different ideas what to paint, and I think it's a complex topic to just say that I have a plan, because it's hard to have a plan for all those ideas, because when you somehow open these doors of the ideas for painting, you you start to getting infinite different ideas. So more is just about focusing on one painting, and then when I finish it, I go to another one, and that's kind of it for now.
Yeah, I believe the expression of consciousness cannot be planned. We don't know what's going to happen. Beauty will arise from that, whether it's art, whether it's music, whether it's writing, poetry. It's quite creative, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm fascinated by the law of attraction at the moment. And I wanted to ask you about this in more detail because I've watched The Secret, and I'm looking more into this, the law of attraction. So how can we manifest in reality? How does this work? Do you have any idea how this manifests?
Yes. So firstly, we can look around ourselves and just see the things that are surrounding us, and then think about what you are thinking all the time. And maybe you can see some connections. Maybe you can see that the things that are around you right now, you were thinking about those things. It's possible. So I don't mean all those things, but maybe your computer or a camera or a car or something like that. You, at one point of your life, you wanted to have those things. So it's on material level. And if we think now that way, that if we can create something, even if there are just small things that we can manifest in our life, then we can also think, what if we can control it? What if we can now really consciously decide what we want to manifest? So from now in my life, it happened so many different manifestations. I was writing down what I want to have or what I want to achieve. And all those different things that I wrote down happened, that for me, it's not possible now to not believe that it works. So it works, and that's why I'm sharing this message. But I believe that the people who are experiencing some hard situations, for those it's hard to believe that they also created those situations, but they didn't create it consciously. Because if we are living 95% of a day unconsciously, how can we then control what we want to happen for us? So that's why I think it's important that we are practicing this present moment, because that's the time when we become conscious. And at that time when we are conscious, at that time we can decide what what kind of life we want to live, because that's the time when we are reprogramming ourselves, our unconscious mind, because unconscious mind is actually a program that we are living. And if we want to change something in our life, we need to reprogram our unconscious mind, because it will start to vibrating on different level, the vibration of energy, it will start to work on different level. And if we can reprogram it consciously, then we can put into our unconscious mind different things, if it's understandable. So for example, for me it worked when I needed the money. I was writing down how much money I would love to get in, and the certain date till when I would love to get this money. And for me it was so important because I needed the money at that time. And I was writing it down, and every single day after I finished meditation, I was thinking about that money, that I already have it, and I was grateful for it. And I was feeling like all those feelings that we are feeling when we get something we really want. So I was feeling as it is already happened. And at the exact date that I wrote it down, it happened. I got the money.
Really?
So I tried then many different things, and all those things happened at, at the date, sometimes before, sometimes later, but it happened. So that's why I believe that it's it's a powerful way to use to live more consciously, because that's how we can go out of the program and recreate it, and then like live the life that we desire, or live the life that we want to live.
Yeah. It's developing the faith, isn't it, by seeing little things manifest. I seen someone the other day, they were saying, think of an owl, start visualizing an owl, and eventually an owl will appear. And it happened to me. I'm like, whoa, because I wasn't aware of it, I wasn't looking for it. And then when it did appear, it gave me some faith. I'm like, oh, wow, that kind of is cool, isn't it? But when I look back on my life, I do see things that I ended up doing, and they all just started in the imagination. It's interesting you're saying we need to look at the unconscious mind, because it's the unconscious mind that, if you say, regulates reality, would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are not aware of that. And of course we are not, because we are living most of the time unconsciously. But if we just think about possibility, we are opening the doors that it's possible. So I think it's the first thing is just to start looking for possibilities. What can be possible in our life? Because of course it's hard to see at the beginning all the things that we can achieve if we don't believe that we can achieve them. But if we are looking for possibilities for the small things at the beginning, that's how we can open the doors for that possibility to actually happen in the reality of our life.
Yeah. I mean, your meditation you've just done recently, it was quite popular. By popular demand, you put this video out, didn't you? Because people were wanting to know how to manifest. So you did this amazing meditation. I was just speaking with Gasper just before the interview. I tried it, and it was quite amazing. I could feel this energy rising up, and I could feel the energy around the crown chakra. And it's kind of amazing. I'm thinking, I need to do this every day. It's absolutely amazing. If anyone's not tried this, I'll link it below the video. You must try his meditation. So yeah, you were saying this will help with manifestation as well.
Yes, exactly. Because as I told before this meditation, for anyone which will go and try it, we are, as energetic beings, we are working on different frequencies. And for me, Dr. Joe Dispenza is describing those different levels of vibrations so well. And what I've used from this from his teachings is that usually we are working on gamma frequency, actually beta frequency, which is, this is the state that we are in right now when we are half conscious, half unconscious about what we are doing. So this is the state of analytical mind when we are observing and we are doing things. And that is the state when we can't actually believe something that we are feeling so strong that we would think that this will actually happen in our life. So this breathing method for me is so important because we can raise our energy so strong that at some point we can just experience, when we close our eyes, we can experience as our vision is already happening, as we want, for example, as we are visualizing our perfect life, and we can just feel it, we can become grateful about it. And that's, for me, it's so powerful because we can really become one with life. And I said in this meditation that it's not about manifesting, because I didn't want to do this meditation just for manifesting something, but just to feel this oneness, to feel this feeling of love, this feeling of gratitude. How does it feel? And we can really raise this energy so strong in our body, in our brain, that it, I think everyone who can try it can feel like more powerful energy in the body.
Yeah, it's interesting because you said the development of love. I would say I would at risk, I would say a lot of people would value money as more important than love.
Yes. And that's exactly why, because as I said, when our outer world is more important than what we feel, then of course we'll think, oh, I need money right now to be happy, I need a new car right now to be happy. But if we can raise this energy, we will feel more happiness that we were ever filled from this outside things. And it's actually, I don't know if it's possible to believe before you try it. I don't think if we can actually believe that it's possible to feel more stronger feelings than you are feeling it when you get the money or something. But while we are meditating, while we are raising this energy, we get to this feeling which is hard to describe, this energy. And like many people just describe it as feeling of love, and I would say the same. It's just, you are just happy to be alive, and that's what we are looking for, I think, because no money will give you happiness. You can buy things, but at some time you will find out that you need more, and you need more of that and more of this. But only by that, I think, we can learn what we really need in life, by going inside of us and just feeling those feelings of love and gratitude and those different positive emotions.
Absolutely. The happiest times in my life, funny enough, were when I was on a retreat, a month-long retreat, and we had nothing. We had very strict things. We had silence. We had the same meals. We didn't leave. I think we had a mile radius of the meditation center, and I've done 2 of these in the month of January, 2 different years, and they were the happiest times of my life. And I realized when you're meditating, doing long meditation sessions, I think we were doing 4 a day, and we were studying in between. And it was like at the end of the retreat, it was like I didn't want to come out of retreat. I understand how people, when they go to the Himalayas and they meditate for years on end, they don't want to come back into the world. But I think it's hard for people to understand what the bliss feels like deep in meditation. Who needs money when you're content and happy?
Exactly. It's really powerful. I think when we are focusing on ourselves, I mean, our inner world. It's like nothing outside can, can reach us, can reach. I mean, it can affect on how we feel, but we know because we have experience that there's something more we can achieve. There's something more we can reach inside our body. So nothing outside can affect us so strong that we will just stop with everything. So that's why for me it's so important to also to say this to everyone, that we need to explore our inner world, because that's how we can learn to become more conscious about what is going on around ourselves, and to not let that all those things are affecting on how we feel. And yes, it's really hard at the beginning of my journey, of that spiritual journey. It was hard when you learn something spiritual, when you learn about meditation and mindfulness, and then you just say, oh, now I don't want to hang with those people anymore. I don't want to go to a funeral or to church because they're teaching everything wrong. And it was, for me, it was at the beginning, it was really hard then to back out and just hang with certain people that I was hang out before, because they were affecting on how I feel. But later you realize that this is life, this is what we are living, but we can just observe it more consciously. Like, of course it will still affecting on how we feel, but just observe what is going on in our body while you are hanging with those persons, while with those people, while you are going, I don't know, to church or wherever you are going, and to just become aware of what is going on. And then we can start changing little things in our life, like thinking more positively or doing more positive things, and just living more mindfully. So it can change us on this level, to just be more aware of what is going on in our life.
Eckhart Tolle speaks a lot about this, doesn't he? It's not changing the external circumstances, it's controlling our own mind and living in the present moment and experiencing whatever it is that's happening that day, in our life. Whoever we're with, wherever we are. Yeah.
Exactly, because people are so focusing on that they want to change the world outside of us. And we can change it at some point, we can change it to some level, but why this is so important, it's why you want to change something outside of you if you're not happy right now. So what can affect on you if you will change something outside of you if you're not happy right now? Nothing will change, because if you're not happy right now, even if you will, I don't know, win a lottery, if you will get different things, you will still not be happy, because happiness is happening just right now in this moment. And I've learned it in my life, that I've learned to love my life when I had nothing, when I had no money, when I had no things, that like nothing. And if we can learn to love our life when we have nothing, then when we get everything, we will still be happy, we will still be present, we will still be in peace. Because people always say that money can destroy you, or whatever different material things can affect on you, but we need to learn to love our life without anything. So no material things should affect on how you feel. Like, I mean, sometimes it gives us this feeling of happiness, but if we can learn without anything to be happy, to be present, to be in love with life, then life will become beautiful, and all the depression can, I think, go away.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. It doesn't matter how big our house is or how many cars we have. If our mind is not in a peaceful state, we won't be happy. Wealth is not bad. wealth can be good if in hands
Yes,
of a good person.
exactly, exactly. And also, Tony Robbins said it so well that wealth will make you, if you're a good person, more wealth will make you even a better person. If you're not a good person, more wealth will make you even a worse person. And this this is just because of that. If we can be happy right now, we can be happy also with all the things. So yes, wealth can be a great thing. We can help others. We can, we can be more, we can have more things that we like to have, but we will be happy with them or without them. So that's what we need to search for. We need to search for our own happiness first. Then we can manifest anything we want, but we need to find our own happiness first. Like at the first place of our this bucket list, or how is it, list for achievements,
Yeah.
or this main list what we need to achieve in our life need, would need to be our own happiness. So when we achieve our own happiness, then we can have anything else, or I mean everything else plus our own happiness.
Yeah. No, that's great. I'm really happy you said that. So it's like the development of love, things will manifest, because that's at the higher frequency where things will manifest it, because we're in a very positive state of mind.
Exactly, because we can't actually attract like things that, if we would research like people who achieved things, who have like more material things, we would see that also those people are thinking differently than us. They are doing differently, they are acting differently, they are waking up earlier, they are really determined, they are like productive, and they are working on totally different energy than the people that have nothing. And that's what we don't see. We never see that we just see, oh, he has so much money and so many things, but we don't see his mind, what kind of thoughts are running into his head, her head. So that's why we need to research everyone. If we want to be like that certain person, or if we want to achieve something that somebody else achieved, we need to research also what was behind that, what was going on inside that person's head. And that's how we can turn on those vibrations. Actually, that's how we can connect to those higher vibrations, which will give us those material things.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing I think we need to be aware of.
I wish they would have taught this at school. Do you ever get that feeling?
Yes, but if we can think about why the school was designed for at the first place, it was designed to make people to to work on the companies. So if we think about now, we can see that the school is not designed to make you really wise person, or to make you really conscious about life. So that's why there are spiritual teachings, and that's why there are schools and different material teachings. And I think that if we are going to school and we find out that this is not what is making us happy, or this is not, or we think that there is something more we can reach, then we can do it by our own. The school will not help us with that. But it's nothing wrong with the school, it's all great, but sometimes we feel like, I feel that there is something more that I will not get in school. So yes, it's about time that they would teach it also in school, but we will see what will happen in the future.
Yeah. My education now is YouTube channels like your own. I just love. I don't have a television, as I said earlier. I use YouTube, and I choose what I want to watch. I choose what I want to be
Yes.
educated on that day. And I'm learning so much over the past so many years. I'm learning so much just by YouTube. There's so much content out there now. And there seems to be like this spiritual revolution going on at the moment. Would you agree?
Exactly. I think that's, if we can predict any war right now, we can say that there will be spiritual people against people who are not spiritual. And it's not actually about war, it's actually about developing ourselves. And I think that's what is going on right now. People are starting awakening. And when we are starting awakening ourselves, then we can see that the war is not necessary anymore, because we are becoming more and more connected. We are not so separate anymore. And at some point we just find out that we are all connected. So it's a lot going on right now about spirituality. I mean, this way of awakening of our consciousness. It's really amazing. Thanks to the internet, that those informations are sharing so fast. It's really great. So many books out is right now outside that we can read about it, and YouTube is a great tool because we can watch all those different informations.
Yeah.
So, but it still depends what we are focusing on, because we can focus also on the negative things, and then we will say, oh, this world is going so bad right now. But it all depends of our focus, where we are setting our attention. But yeah, spirituality right now is growing really well.
Yeah. So what plans do you have for the future of your YouTube channel then, Casper?
It's almost the same as we were talking before about painting. I think it's hard right now to make any plans. I will just go with the flow. I want to connect more with people, to maybe to like that we can talk like with people like we're talking right now, and sharing message, maybe more interviews as well, reaching more people, and sharing my art. So it really depends of the time. That today I was painting all the day and I felt so great that, it all depends of the day. So we will see more art, definitely, and more connecting with the people.
Brilliant.
So it's also, my English is still not the best. I want to learn a lot of like the talking more in English. So that's why also this channel helps me to talk more, to express myself more, and all those different things. So just more message, sharing more message, and through different forms of expression.
Wonderful. Well, I hope you do more meditations, because your meditation I tried this morning was amazing. The timing was brilliant, and the tonality was perfect as well. So I think people would appreciate more meditations if I can request that.
Yes, it's a great feedback. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I will, as well, I forgot to mention this. Yes, I will make more guided meditations as well.
Wonderful. So is there any closing thoughts, Casper, before we finish?
I think we said so many things today in this interview, but I would say to every single person right here to just do what you love. It's like we can do many different researches, we can dig into science, we can dig into spirituality, but at the first place is our own happiness, and nobody can bring you that. So we need to do what we love. We need to, we need to have fun. It's important. It's more important than any information, to have fun, to enjoy yourself. So that would be my thought to everyone. Just follow your passion, do what you love, and at some point you will see that life is going on really well. It's like all those different things behind it, what we are doing, are manifesting. and our goals will become like everything will start to work as it should. And I wanted to say this because when I started painting, people say to me that it's not possible to make a living out of it, and people will not understand your art. Many people say, oh, those weird paintings, what is that? Go outside and paint landscapes. That's what people will buying. But don't listen to people, because it's amazing what people are writing now about that art. So many people have similar visions, and nothing of that would be possible if I would listen to those people who say to me that it's not possible. So just do what you love and follow your heart, and that's the main thing that we should be focusing on. And all those different things behind it we just follow. So happiness is like a strong energy.
Yeah, I don't believe there's any resistance when you're following your passion.
Yes.
There's a Japanese saying, akigai, akigai. When you find something you're passionate about, it will just flow, and you can make a living from it, and you'll be in harmony with the world. You know, we don't
Exactly.
there's be no resistance. You know.
Yes, but it seems hard at the beginning. For me, I know it was sometimes it was hard, because you can't see a way that something can be done out of it, you know, like no clients, no money, and nothing. But if you don't quit, at some point just things starts to flowing. And I think from my perspective, life is challenging us. At the beginning of the journey, when we start following our passion, life will be challenging us if we are willing to follow that passion. And if we will not quit, then we will show that we are willing to do it. We are strong enough to do it. And like I said, if we will not quit, we will make it. And I think that's the only theory how to be, or how to make something out of life. Just not quit and you will achieve it. And I think that's it. That's important to know.
That's a great message. Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on. Where can we find your art, Gasper?
You can find it by the name idrawmypassion, without separation, or how it's called. Just idrawmypassion. You can find it on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, and yes, also my other YouTube channel is AttractPassion. It's actually the one that I'm posting meditations and different speeches and my art. So I have two YouTube channels. One is just about art, and the other is about sharing knowledge and messages, and also my art. So idrawmypassion and AttractPassion, that's where you can find me.
Wonderful. And you have a shop, an Etsy shop, if people want to buy your art?
I have also Etsy shop, but it's right now it's in developing, because I'm working on my own web shop. So I was not so much productive on that Etsy shop. But also the Etsy shop is by the name idrawmypassion.
Okay. Gasper, thank you very much for coming on today. It's been wonderful having you on. It's fascinating stuff there. I'm sure if there'll be another opportunity where you could come on again, I'd hope you do. I hope you would.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing it. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much, Gasper, and I'll see you again. Thank you to everyone watching, and head on over to his website, his YouTube channel. Highly recommend this YouTube channel. You won't be disappointed. So thank you again. Thank you, Gasper. Thank you.
Thank you.